Alpha from Falonte in this afternoon's Cox Plate at Moonee Valley. And we'll have full descriptions of the big race, and we understand it is going to start on time in around 2 minutes. Let's go now to Greg Miles at Moonee Valley. Greg.
Okay, thank you, Tim, and welcome to our Cox Plate coverage now. And the horses were led out onto the track by the Hero from 1992 Superimpose, and the replays of the past Cox Plates are being played over the system here. Crowd just building up with excitement. Superimpose looks magnificent as he's led the field onto the track for the Cox Plate, where Falonte is the clear favourite. He's pretty short. He's around 6-4 as they're out just completing their warm-ups now. On the Super Tab, he's at 270 and 150, a price reflected at around about 7-4. He dominates betting in the race after his brilliant victory at Caulfield 2 weeks ago, and he was second before that in the George Main Stakes. He looks magnificent. He's a beautiful copper chestnut, and he's trained to the minute by the man of few words, Jack Denham. Jimmy Cassidy on board. Since returning to the saddle, has taken out 4 Group 1 races, and he's set to ride the race of his life on Falonte, who was beaten by an out-and-out champion in Saintly last year. The second favourite is the 3-year-old Encounter at 9-2. He's won 8 of 13. He's won 4 in a row. He took the Guineas at his last start, and he's got Shane Dye, who won on Octagonal 2 years ago, on board. He's at 570 and 220. And surprisingly easy has been Alpha number 5, out to about 5-1 on track at $5.20 and $1.90. They're the top 3 in the betting. Next is Schubert. He's come into about 7, showing $9 and $2.20. And Juggler, who danced out on his toes onto the track in front of the big crowd, which exceeds 30,000 here at Moonee Valley. He's been, in fact, very, very well supported, Juggler. He's from 9s to 15 to 2, and he's at $9.60 and $2.60. And there has been money for Viali at longer figures, 20s into 16s. But the dominant favourite is Falonte at 6-4. Now they're warming up, and they've done so, and they're settling behind the gates for the running of the great race, billed as the Weight for Age Championship of Australia and Australasia for that matter. Greg Childs luckily picking up a ride through Lance O'Sullivan's wretched luck. He took one mount before the Cox Plate, and it was Seti Lassie who was leading down by the school and tried to jump the inside running rail. She crashed to the ground, and Lance O'Sullivan was left with a broken left leg, whilst the mare had severed tendons and was taken to the Werribee Veterinary Clinic. So it could be another chapter in the rich history of the race of drama if Viali happened to win. Alpha is settled on the inside. Falonte's linked to 2. Moss Downs, one of 2 New Zealanders in the race, comes into barrier number 3. And Falonte has firmed again. He's going to run a pronounced 11-8 favourite. He is the shortest favourite since Naturalism fell here at even money in 1992. The last favourite to win was Better Loosen Up in 1990 at 2-1. Now Juggler's gone in. Dane Ripper is ready, the only mare of the field, a race that hasn't been kind to the mares. Just 2 winners since 1922. Here's Encounter coming up. He's ready, the 3-year-old. And the fellow 3-year-old Schubert coming in for Larry Cassidy. Completes the lineup for the 97 Cox Plate. Alpha playing up on the inside. Falonte got edgy and bounced round with him on the number 2 gate. Starters holding them now. They're off and racing to a great roar, with Alpha and Falonte beginning equally as well on the inside. Tarnpur Lane bounced out of the barriers. Encounter went forward. Juggler went back with Schubert. As they settle down, Moss Down settles at the back, and Tarnpur Lane is a surprise leader by 3/4. Falonte, who can push up and hold the rails. Encounter third, turning out of the straight from Dane Ripper, who's outside Alpha. Then Viali, Juggler towards the end. Schubert second last, and Moss Downs. Tarnpur Lane wobbled out of the straight, but again comes back to the rail in front. Goes out pulling down the side by 2 lengths. Falonte, pace not all that hard. Settling third as Encounter, a length and a half away. Alpha on the rails is fourth from Dane Ripper. 2 lengths further back is Viali, the outside of Juggler, and then Schubert and Moss Downs. Tarnpur Lane heads up to the 1200 metre mark. Hasn't gone all that hard. 2 lengths in front of Falonte. Cassidy took him away from the rails. Doesn't want trouble. 2 lengths Encounter tracking the favourite. Alpha on the rails. A length to Dane Ripper. A length and a half Viali outside Juggler. Moss Downs second last, and Schubert whipped them men. He's 12 from the leader, which is Tarn Purlane, left alone in front. A length and 3/4 clear. Running second, the favourite Falonde, a length and a half to Encounter. Wonderwell for inside. Dane Ripper, the stablemate. 2 lengths to Juggler, tucked away on the inside as Schubert takes off at the 900. Whipping round the 3-year-old now. In behind those, Enviali is second last, and the fellow New Zealander Moss Downs at the back of the field. They're off the back down the side now, and Falonte goes up and joins Tarn Purlane with Encounter, and Schubert coming wider out. 2 lengths then to Alpha over on the inside of Dane Ripper, then Viali, Juggler well back, and Moss Downs. Nearing the turn now, Falonte went to the lead, but is tackled immediately by Schubert and Encounter. Alpha gets a rails run a length away on the inside when they came to the turn, got chopped out of it. Falonte in front with Encounter and Schubert tackling. Dane Ripper's running on around the outside, and here comes Viali. Next is Alpha. It's Falonte in front. Encounter coming at him when they corner now, clear of Schubert, Viali, and then Dane Ripper. No Alpha. It's Encounter after Falonte. Dane Ripper the rail. It's Falonte in front of Dane Ripper and Encounter, and then Viali. It's Dane Ripper flashing home on the inside. A surprise. Dane Ripper wins it for Damien Oliver and Bart Cummings. Falonte is second. Photo third, either Viali or Encounter, who couldn't finish it off, clear of Schubert. Moss Downs, Juggler towards the end, and then Alpha, and Tarn Purlane has weakened to finish last in the Cox Plate. Bart sprung the surprise. The mare Dane Ripper has taken out the Cox Plate for 1997 at about 25 to 1. Damien Oliver securing a freak rails run, and the mare who'd never been at the distance before, the Stradbroke winner from Brisbane, the first mare to win it since Flight in 1946, and only the third mare to ever win the Cox Plate. A stunning win. 7, Dane Ripper first, gives Damien Oliver his first Cox Plate and Bart his third. Second, number 1, Falonte, Jimmy Cassidy, who challenged for the lead a long way from home and was left a sitting shot, and Viali, the Kiwi, sweeping round the field from second last. 7-1-4, 7-1-4, so Falonte has to be settling for second place in the Cox Plate for the second time running. And Bart, who only decided to run this mare on Tuesday morning, has sprung the surprise of the spring. When they came to the turn, it was Falonte, Encounter, and Schubert tackling. Dane Ripper with nowhere to go. But then Oliver, weaved magic, saw that Falonte was rolling off the fence, dashed up there, and she has sprinted with magnificence in the last 100 metres to win, running away by a length and a half. Oliver punching the air with jubilation as he passed the line in a most magnificent win. Let's go down to Clem Dempsey in the mounting yard now.
We've got Joe Agresta with us. Joe, fantastic.
What made you say that? Oh, well, I've ridden plenty of horses here at the Valley, and horses like Shaftesbury Avenue, Let's Elope, and no horse ever worked better than she did on Tuesday morning.
First on the rails, mate.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, great rider, isn't he? Yeah.
Was that the way it was planned, Joe?
Oh, not really. Just, you know, all the hype that Bart put her into, you know, set the pace for Alpha. But Bart doesn't work like that. He just works, you know, he runs his horses to suit the horse.
Congratulations on your judgment, Joe.
Joe Agresta, the track rider for Bart Cummings, who was the man who suggested to Bart that he had her in the wrong race Tuesday morning. She was to run in the mare's race here today. Joe said, I think she's in the wrong race. She's worked that well. Bart said, well, we'll fix that. It wasn't obviously as close as that. Bart is a great planner, and he doesn't make up his mind at the 11th hour to do this. He's had it in his mind, obviously, to run her in this race for some time, but in his laid-back attitude, he just made that late switch, and he's come up trumps. Clem.
Bart Cummings.
Well, he rode it just as we planned, and it worked out very well. Obviously, she looks like a colt, and she beat the colts.
Just burst on the inside there.
Yeah.
Enormous finish.
I always thought she'd get a mile and a quarter very well, and it looks like she has.
You said yesterday you were quietly confident.
Oh, well, that was to you.
2 in a row. I mean, most people on Tuesday were shocked that you even put the mare in the race, but now she's won it.
I can't believe what they say. Yeah, it's true. They did.
When did you first plan? I mean, was it Tuesday or was it before
About
that?
6 or 7 weeks ago. I just wanted to see how she'd go on the track here, and the second time I bought her, she worked very well, better than Tuesday. So I was pretty pleased.
What did you think when Damien went through on the rails, mate? You were home?
Well, they all said the rail's no good, but I reckon the track's good anywhere here. It's a great track.
You walked it yesterday, Bart, and you were very satisfied with it.
Yeah, I thought it was fast, and there wasn't a divot on the track, and there was just a magnificent order. So I just told him to go where you like.
What did you discuss with Damien yesterday? Were they the plans?
I said, the slower they go, the better chance you got, mate. So he said, well, that's good. He'll just sit back and wait for the brakes, which he did. Well, he rode a very good race. He got the run on the rail, and she was good enough to take it.
An extraordinary effort, Bart. Never won over 1600 and won a Cox Plate.
I can't believe it myself.
Thanks, Bart. Bart Cummings, Greg, speaking after the fabulous win by Dane Ripper.
Yes, a fabulous win, and Damien Oliver is soaking up a win like I've never seen him do so before. He's taken Dane Ripper well past where they do a U-turn and come back into the weighing enclosure. He trotted her up 150 metres up the straight, doffing his cap to the crowd. Despite the fact she's been a drifter from 25-1 out to 40-1, she is a very popular winner because of the connections that she has. Everybody loves seeing Bart win. He's the best, and the mare was ridden by the best. If he's not the best in Australia, I don't know who is. He's a super rider, and this big, heavy top mare has just relished the Strathair surface, and the stunning international success of Dame Hill has been to the fore again out of the sovereign red mare, Red Express. She's raced by the Pitt Place Proprietary Limited Syndicate, managed by J.M. Cotner, and the great man has posted his third win in the Australasian Weight for Age Championship. Damien Oliver, back from Hong Kong earlier this year, didn't look like having a Cox Plate rival. He didn't have one up until Tuesday morning, and he's enjoying every moment of this return to scale. Well, Falonde tried his heart out. He was probably left in front a good way from home. It was going to be hard for him to win. He was left a shot, and Vialli's been an eye-catcher coming from the back. Encounter made his move early. So did Schubert. The three-year-olds tried to make use of their lightweight, but they were just found wanting in a top-quality race. 7-1-4 it is official, repeating. Dane Ripper, Damien Oliver first. Falonde, Jimmy Cassidy second. And Vialli, Greg Childs, picking up the late ride, was third. Fourth home in the race was number 8, Encounter, and fifth was number 3, Moss Downs. 2:07.6 was the time. 46.9 for the last 800, 35.5 for the last 6, 24.4 for the last 4, and the last 2 in 12.6. Now, Damien Oliver has dismounted, and he's being interviewed on the course now, and I'm sure that Clem Dimsey won't be too far away as he makes his way to the weighing enclosure, and we might just get a quick grab from Damien as he makes his way to that weigh-in. He'll be absolutely delighted, because this is one of the absolute pinnacles in a jockey's career. Damien's won the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup. He's had multiple victories, but this one's eluded him. And he's come through with a surprise victory on Dane Ripper. She won the Stradbroke in the style of a champion mare back in June, but she'd never been beyond 1,600 metres. She jarred up in the Epsom handicap. She looked a winning hope about 250 from home, but a very hard surface took its toll on her there. And Bart and Damien embrace in the mounting enclosure now before Damien pushes his way through the throng now to weigh in. Let's just join Clem for a moment.
Damien, fantastic.
Thanks, Clem. Yeah, it was amazing.
Pressure off?
On you, Damien.
Yeah, well, there was no really pressure on me. You know, all the pressure was on the big guns, so I just sat behind them and let them carve each other up, and then we got the run on the inside.
The race went the way you predicted?
Yeah, I'll just weigh in, I'll be back.
Okay. Damien Oliver just weighing in, Gregory.
Okay, we'll stay with you, Clem, because Damien will step off the scales and come straight back to you. I know there's a huge press strong there, and Damien having just weighed in correctly, hopefully. Back to Clem.
Yeah, Damien.
Damien, your reaction after winning the Cox Plate, this is one of the great thrills.
It is, you know, it's what racing's all about. This is one of the biggest, and you know, when I got that run up on the inside, I was pretty stoked. I had a lap full of horse underneath me coming to the turn, and she really bullocked her way through, and, you know, she raced like a really good horse today.
2 years ago it was Octagonal, today it's Oliver, so the big O is back in town.
He certainly is, Kay.
And you made comments and praise for Bart Cummings. Have you ever ridden for such a freakish trainer?
No, I rode my first Group 1 winner for Bart, so it was good to get back with him again, and, you know, it just goes to show you, you know, this filly was underestimated. You know, it wasn't a vintage Cox Plate, and Bart took the gamble by putting her in, and, you know, and she's justified it today.
You spoke of pressure. Did the boys compound down to that pressure? And did you have the last shot because of that?
It's easy for me to say yes, but not really. You know, it's a Cox Plate. You know, you've seen them take off early in these races before, and it is a race of tactics. And I was afforded the luxury of being under no pressure and on an outsider, and I could let them do what they wanted.
And your first Cox Plate, the thrill of it?
Absolutely. Insane, Keith. Unbelievable.
Damien, was it really a late ride, or did Bart mention this a little while ago?
Not at all. I picked the ride up on Tuesday morning. I didn't have a ride in the race, and I was ecstatic to get the ride, and you know, it's just great to win your first Cox Plate.
What did Bart say when he spoke to you to offer you the ride?
We spoke to my manager, Bruce Clark, and you know, I was driving home from the track on Tuesday morning, and you know, it was a little bit of disappointment last week after the Caulfield Cup, but it just goes to show you how quickly racing can turn around.
You
know?
knew it wasn't just a rider, was a potentially winning ride?
Well, you know, the thing I knew that was I was going to be under no pressure, and I had, you know, the pressure was on the other guys. They weren't going to be worried about me, so I could afford the luxury of just being patient on it.
Damien, you spent an hour with Bart Cummings yesterday morning. What did he say to you?
Not much, as Bart usually does. I did an interview with him on the radio, and yeah, it was good to get Bart's insight and you know, pick his brain for a little while, because there's a lot of experience there, and certainly can learn a lot from Bart.
And on Thursday night, you didn't have a video of this horse. You were calling for the owner at the Cox Plate dinner to bring the video out. You must have looked at it hard.
I studied a few of the videos, but you know, they really didn't tell me a lot, because they were all 1,400 metre runs. But credit to the filly, she went to sleep underneath me. And you know, she just produced an awesome burst at the finish.
It's Damien Oliver. At that point, I think we'll leave Damien. And Damien Oliver speaking after his meritorious win in the Cox Plate, his first on the outside of Dane Ripper. Greg.
Greg Miles and Clem Dempsey, and the winning jockey, Damien Oliver, 7-1-4, the numbers in the Cox Plate. And Dane Ripper has become only the third mare to win the Cox Plate. Dane Ripper from Falante and Viali. This is Grandstand across Australia to the WACA now. Glenn Mitchell.
Yes, Tim, it's a very absorbing battle.